If you're doing nails at home or you're doing nails on somebody else or taking clients, you may be making this one mistake and you may not even realize it. 16, I think that's the year I developed the reaction, and you won't have to be worrying about allergies. Okay, point is, if you're doing nails at home or you're doing nails on somebody else or taking clients, you may be making this one mistake and you may not even realize it. To be honest, I made that same mistake and it was really difficult to get started with everything I was doing, with everything I planned for my nail journey. When it first happened to me, I had gone out of school and I used up all my good product, started buying other product, and I left school like a lot of nail techs, not prepared, with no skill of doing nails properly whatsoever. We all know it's more focused on laws, regulations, nail disorders, and nail infections, how to prevent things from happening. It's a lot of things that have to do with the state laws and bodily fluids and all that stuff, right? So they don't focus a lot on the actual nail techniques as much. It was very minimal. That was my experience. That's always a lot of people's experience. Not everyone's. I've heard probably barely, but maybe some people have said, yeah, I had a good experience. But for the most part, you leave and you don't really know how to do nails properly, right? So I think it was 2014 I graduated, like at the end of that year, 2014. And then like by 2016, I think that's the year I developed the reaction, the allergic reaction. And thankfully, I have not gotten another one since. Basically, what I'm trying to say is, because my skill wasn't developed properly after leaving nail school, that led me to try nails at home. Basically, nail trainers were more expensive. The school only had 2 in a class full of 8 people. Could be more, could be less, depending on the class. But we had 2 nail trainers, so I would always try to go get one because I felt like if I can start practicing, I'll get better faster, right? But it was only 2 nail trainers, so it wasn't really much help, right? And then we didn't really have a lot of guidance to do it on each other one-on-one. At least my class, it was just our teacher was not the best. So when I got a nail trainer, it was kind of too late, because I think before the nail trainer is when I got the allergy. I'm trying to remember. But if you were to get a nail trainer like this, it would make it easier for you to practice beads on the hand, the fake hand, versus yourself. Why? Because you're trying to build your skill first, so that when you're about to touch an actual human hand, yourself or someone else's, then you already have the technique down. You have done all the preventative care, so that you don't get an allergic reaction, unless you're maybe somebody that was just born allergic to a certain thing, and that's just the exception. So we're talking about how you can give yourself an allergy, right? If you have one of these, it'd be better. Or even a swatch stick, the ones where you put your colors on. You can practice on the swatch stick. It's not on your actual hand. Once you get the actual bead ratio down, how to not flare the cuticle, and you understand that aspect, then I think, okay, try to practice on yourself, right? But the reason really is contact of the chemicals on your skin. The contact on top of the skin is basically letting the little chemicals go into your small little pores, because the chemicals are even smaller than your pores. So that's how it gets into your bloodstream and tells the body it's under attack, and then your immunity is trying to protect the body, right? Like it should. And it starts to, it looks like it's eating up your fingertips because of the reaction. So it's basically trying to fight it off, and it's going to start opening up your skin, and it's gonna blister and stuff like that. So what you really want to do is prevent it. It's very scary, and it was heartbreaking, scary, devastating, depressing, everything I can imagine. That's how I felt, and it was just the worst thing at the time after coming out of nail school, trying to get this career going, right? So the main point is, don't touch the products on the skin. It doesn't matter if it's acrylic, it doesn't matter if it's gel, hard gel, soft gel, regular polish gel, it doesn't really matter. the gel for structured nails, like it doesn't matter. You cannot, these are still chemicals. Before they touch a lamp, these chemicals can get into your bloodstream quicker. Now, once the whatever product you're using is solidified, like acrylic or gel, anything like that, under the lamp, then it as long as it's not curing on your skin, you know, that's how you prevent it. You're only curing it on top of a fake nail, your natural nail. You're not curing it on your skin. But the worst is having, like, I think I heard it's like uncured dust in the air and you're like breathing it in. Another thing, get a dust collector. Like, that's so dangerous. Just don't touch. I'll show you a little demo on this hand somewhere in the video so you can see how I do, in a sense. So you can give you a little quick like tutorial for your eyes so you can see like, oh, okay, there's a reason why the skin ends up touching there's a reason why the products end up touching the skin, and there's a way to prevent it so that you don't get contact dermatitis. Because when you get an allergy, that's what it's called. Or your body's like, well, I heard it was like two things, right? You can become permanently allergic if you keep doing this over and over, or you get contact dermatitis like I did, and you have to let it heal, and your body is helping, you know, protect itself, and you have to let it heal for a little bit, well, for a while, until your nail tips are healed. But you cannot keep overexposing over and over on your skin. So you cannot get product on the skin, because once those chemicals penetrate the skin, and once it's repeated exposure and it builds up over time, boom, you got basically a permanent allergy, right? But contact dermatitis is kind of like telling your skin, like, oh my God, like your body does not like this coming in contact with your body. So it's like a warning to your body, you know what I mean? So that's what happens. Now, what are the signs? The signs of this. The signs basically are like itching, burning. There's like redness, swelling. Then they turn all flaky. After they turn off, like after your fingers get all red and itchy, they start getting flaky, because, you know, now the skin's exposed to the air and it's trying to dry out and heal back and close itself. It's like it's opening itself so that it can get rid of those, I guess, the attacker, the chemical. And once, you know, it's like opening the skin, it starts closing when it starts healing. And it's horrible, but that's kind of like what the symptoms are like. But they end up healing afterwards, and they start healing back up. So to prevent this from happening, you want to keep the product off the skin. That's first and foremost. You work at a good pace. You don't work too fast. You want to make sure, especially with acrylic, that when you're picking up a bead to make one, that you're releasing extra liquid, and you are patting it on a napkin, and the bead is forming into a nice little ball. You can place it right on top of the nail, and it shouldn't be going to one side over the other. It should be kind of like bouncy, and then you can put the hand down, and then gravity helps you carry the bead down, right? But yeah, use less product. Be careful, don't overdo it. You want to make sure the edges are all clean. So if you get just a tiny bit of acrylic, make sure you grab your acrylic brush and you clean around, seal that cuticle. And also make sure the lamps are also high. I think it's 7275. The one that I just got, this lamp, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, I just showed it in my, I'm covering my mic. If I'm not mistaken, this was 72 or 75 watts. You need something, I think, above 72 watts, because if not, it's not curing properly. And some people are very picky, and I don't blame them. They want to get the lamps that go with the gel product they use. So I think that's smart. I would do that too. That's really important. But for 10 years and plus, I have not gotten a reaction, and the lamps that I use don't always match. But I think that doing the proper application has really saved me. For me, it was really hard when I was going through this. It really delayed my career. It delayed me doing my own nails. It made me sad and really depressed and hopeless. It really felt like hopeless. I'm like, I spent all this money at school. I don't even know what I'm doing. I can't even do my own nails. Like, I don't know. And it's like, if I don't figure out what to do, I think this was a waste of time. That's how it felt. So that's why I created a allergy survival guide. If anybody's interested, in the description, it really helped to prevent these things from happening, especially if you don't want to be in this situation. Not only giving yourself an allergic reaction, somebody else's nails you're doing, or a client, you know, you're getting paid for something. That would be horrible, but it can be preventable. I'm going to show you guys a quick example of how I do my application. At least one fingernail on this little practice trainer hands. And this is actually from Amazon and it was really cheap. It wasn't 120 something like back when I was in nail school in 2014. I think this was like 20 bucks. So check that out. I actually have a storefront too if you want to check that out in the description. All right, so we're removing this shine. All right, I'm gonna open this back up. Now we got our clear here, got our monomer. Now, this is, I'm going to show you how I used to mess this up actually. I'm going to show you, actually no, I'll show you guys first what to do and then what not to do, right? So the what not to do will be on the pinky. If this was a real hand, don't put your fingers on it because then you'll be putting your own oils. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is how to properly do the nail application so that we're preventing contact dermatitis with acrylic, right? Or any product actually, but we're showing you with acrylic first. So for example, we are going to go in to the liquid. I am just pressing down to release any air bubbles, and then this has too much liquid. If I leave it like that and go into the acrylic, look, it's dripping. So we're going to clean some off from the back, and that means most of the liquid is in the front now. I'm gonna use that front of that brush to pick up a bead like this, and then you can see that this looks a little dry. This is a little bit more wet, but it's solidifying. You could place it here, and then you see it's still intact in a sense, but it's not dripping all over the place. You get what I'm saying? And then I'm staying inside, like, you know, in kindergarten they're like, stay inside the coloring book, right? Inside the lines. You're trying to basically avoid touching the skin at all costs. That's why it's important to learn the application first. Right now I'm just teaching you how I would do this, right? So grabbing more product, I'm just looking at the bead. Looks too wet, so yeah, definitely remove some of that liquid, and then you can place it on top of the last one. Pat down like this, spread to the sides, and then clean the brush off, and then feather down lightly and level it out. Gravity is helping you out when you put the finger down. Okay, so this is the part where you can literally get the worst reaction, the last bead near the cuticle. All right, so what you want to do is do the same thing. Dip into the liquid, remove some from the back, pick up a smaller bead, like a way smaller bead, remove a little liquid. You can keep it a little bit more liquidy, but not too much. You're going to place it right there and form a little ball kind of first, and then push that little ball towards the cuticle area. If it was too liquidy, that's why you get that reaction, because it's touching it too much. And then you bring it down, push it up and bring it down. And you, like I said, want to keep it clean. The little cuticle area is here, so you'd want to clean that, and you're sealing it, and you won't have to be worrying about allergies, okay? The product being prevented from touching the skin. Now, I remember when I was in nail school, this was how I used to make the mistake on my own nails, right? So I would pick up, I didn't even know the ratio, I just pick up without removing anything from the back, without analyzing to see if I had too much or not, or too little. So I would just pick it up, go in here. I didn't know how to pick up a bead. I would pick it up like this. Look how wet that is. Then I would place it anywhere because I didn't know where to start, really. And then I have too much. Look, I put way too much. I didn't even know how much I was supposed to be picking up. So then I'm over here fighting for my life. Too much liquid to ratio. Then people's fingers end up getting hot because you're overdoing the product. And then look, there's a mess. And then you're like trying to fight with time. And then because you're fighting with time, oh look, see, there's too much missing there. Then you're gonna end up going like this more and like this more, and like taking off too much because I'm going too fast, adding too much product. So it's like, it's a mess, right? And then I'm like, okay, that wasn't enough. So now we gotta add more because I don't know where my stress area is supposed to be. So anyways, still adding wet beads. And I was using really bad product. This product is actually leveling it out a little too much for me. The other product I was using from Sally's was like going all over the place. It has the weirdest, grittiest feel. And because it had the weirdest, grittiest feel, it was kind of like, hold on, I'll show you. It was kind of like putting something like this into the nail and then expecting me to, like, it was like that. And then it would be like, oh my God, where do I put it? Like, what do I do? And it was just really bad quality. This is actually amazing quality. My teacher in nail school was like, oh, that's the Bentley of the acrylic and like a brand, and I was like, really? All right, subscribe for more nail related videos, tips and tricks on this channel.
We have come all this way, love, so I don't see us stopping now. My life's an adventure, 'cause you came along and showed me how to love without limits, to have a good time. Now my life's an adventure.